how's it going? So sorry for the little bit of a delay in the video, or in recording. Originally my plan was to do a video every 5 days, but that hasn't been working out as much as I wanted to. But there's a good backlog of videos now, so I'm gonna go with a once a week, probably once every Thursday policy, and then more a week if I have a special video I want to do or something like that. So I'm going to be recording a few videos tonight just to prepare myself. So this is like the third time I'm recording this, just because for whatever reason Logic was making my mic sound like a robot. And I thought it was all the electronics that were around me because I have a bunch of guitars and MIDI stuff around me because I was doing some recording today. But that wasn't it. It was just Logic being Logic. The computer that I'm using is definitely dying. I've been having some issues with it. I don't like Mac, but I like Mac a lot because it has Logic on it, and Windows does not have Logic on it. So if I get another desktop, it's probably going to be an iMac, even though my laptop is it's a Windows laptop because it's a better computer. But today I'm going to go over, I don't know what that was, Oblique strategies. Now, Oblique strategies there's a bunch of different sets, I think. They're made by Brian Eno and Peter Schmidt. Brian Eno is a very famous electronic composer, and Peter Schmidt, I believe, is in Death Cab for Cutie. I don't really know. No, that's not right. I know Death Cab for Cutie uses these a lot. I don't know who Peter Schmidt is. I'm blanking on him. He's probably another electronic composer. Basically what they are, and now you can just get them on an app, but I have a deck right here, is they're supposed to help with creativity as well as writer's block, and I use them a lot for writing music, and sometimes, and just when I need advice, and the random sayings, random stuff, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do today for a video, and then I saw these sitting in front of me, and I wasn't using them today to write, because I'm going through old demos and trying to just re-record them, make them better, I don't know, just for fun. I'm kind of writing an album that'll never be recorded because I don't have any money. So I'm re-going through songs, but I use these a lot for writing music, for writing lyrics, for art, for a lot of different things. I use these, so we're just gonna go through some. So I shuffled the deck a little bit, and there's a lot of cards. There's a lot of them, and I think there's like 5 sets. They come out with a new set every now and then. Don't know if there's been a new one recently, and I know once they sell out of them, they sell out of them. I don't think they reprint old sets, which is why I think the apps are a lot more interesting, but I like cards better. I like something physical, I like to touch stuff. So our top card is Towards the Insignificant. So, for instance, if I were writing a song and I had a few chords down, let's just say it was a 1, 4, 5. That's only going to make sense to some people. Chord progression, it's a very standard chord progression. It's in most music. To me, in terms musically, the insignificant chord in that progression would be the 4th. So to me, I would maybe use it more. I wouldn't just use it in normal blues, like dun 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 dun. That didn't make sense because I didn't actually make a tone with my voice. But I wouldn't do like a normal blues 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, whatever. I'd probably focus more on the 4. Maybe I would do 4, 4, 4, 1, 5, or 4, 4, 4, 5, 1. Because to me, the 4th is the insignificant there. Or you're writing lyrics, maybe there's something that's not important in your life currently going on, and you make that the subject of your song. So this is how you can kind of interpret these things. I love these cards because you can kind of use them for any moment in your life, especially if you're stuck or something. So this is accept advice. Now, that's something we probably all can use, is accepting advice. Now, like, there's cards like this where, and these are made for, these are technically made for songwriting, but it's cards like this where it's like, well, if I was writing a song, I have no idea what I would do with that. So I'd usually just put it in the back of the pile and pick a new one. But in terms of life, I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to understand. Accept other people's advice. And I think that's something we all need to do. I mean, a lot of us get lost in our own heads or lost in our own schemes. And accepting advice is definitely something we all need to learn how to do. Because some people's advice is really good, others is bad. Obviously, you can't take crap advice, but if it's someone you trust, then, do it. Alright, let's take another one. Oh, what's this? I found, like, the Joker, the credits card. Oblique, 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 oblique. Strategies, 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 strategies. Over 100 worthwhile dilemmas by Brian Eno and Peter Schmidt. 5th, again slightly revised edition from 2001. Wow, that's crazy. I bought this maybe 2014 or 15, so either 3 or 4 years ago. This started in 1975. So I don't know if there's been a 6th edition. I don't know if you can get this edition. I really don't know. I didn't look it up before this. I just know when I bought this one, the physical set, there were only a few left. Maybe they do reprint them. I don't think they reprint the first set anymore. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the first set was actually worth a little bit of money. I had a college professor who I always bumped, the way I set this up, I bumped to the mic, so I'm sorry. I had a college professor who turned me on to these. It was just a random thing. And as someone who's really only good at writing songs, it's like the only thing I'm good at in life. I had to get them. They're awesome. So this one. Emphasize. Can you see this? Emphasize the flaws. So that's actually a really awesome card. Now you can use it in, many different ways. But for instance, something that, excuse me, I'm sorry. A good example of maybe emphasizing the flaws is, so there's a song by the Smashing Pumpkins, which, hey, I just did a cover of their newest song, I guess, of their forthcoming album. They just released a music video for it, like, last month, called Silvery Sometimes Ghosts, and I'll link that below on my music channel for you to listen to. But they have a song called Mayonnaise, and in it, in the chorus, there's this, kind of like ringing every time the guitar stops, and if I remember the story correctly, it's actually a beat up old, like, crappy Fender they used, and it just would ring, like, you couldn't get the noises out, there's something wrong with it, in the wiring, but that flaw makes that song, and I've seen them live, and they, it's not their live, so it's really emphasizing the flaws. That's kind of like a little bit of an example. So if I'm ever just playing around, if I'm just, not writing, but just playing guitar or singing, and there's a flaw, emphasize, ooh, I really gotta be more careful. My stands that I have are kind of like barely on this table. So yeah, you have to emphasize the flaws. And that can be good in life too, because we all have flaws, and there's no reason to be ashamed of them. So, let's do another. Ooh, we got a long one here. You don't have to be ashamed of using your own ideas. That's something that I think in terms of modern life, in terms of YouTube specifically, and in terms of music. Wow, that's a big one. I mean, clickbait is everywhere. People copy everybody. People are not original in their videos. They're not original in their lives. They pretend to be someone they're not on Instagram, Facebook, all the time. You shouldn't be afraid to be yourself. So that's how I would interpret that. I'm sorry, I'm going to give you a little knuckle pop in action there. So that's how I would interpret that card. And obviously for songwriting, don't use other riffs, or don't, not steal, but, improvise on other people. That's really hard for rock. I'm a rock person. Because pretty much all rock is based on blues, and pretty much all blues is copied in one form or another. That's actually more of a tradition rather than a bad thing. So that's hard. So at least musically that's hard, but in life that's really, really easy. Just be yourself. And I know it said like YouTubers copy a lot of stuff, and less so ASMR, because ASMR, there's a set amount of general ASMR that you can really do, and there just needs to be, I think there needs to be more general ASMR videos, because some people do it well, some people don't, some people have to improve on it, and it's better. I like the general stuff. So, yeah, don't be ashamed of using your own ideas. Now, if you guys like this video, comment, subscribe. No, let me know in the comments, though, really do, because I will do more of these. There's a lot of cards here, so we have a lot of opportunities to get some interesting advice and some interesting stuff out of them. They also make some nice sounds, the cards. I also can get a new set. I do want to get a new set. I don't know how different the sets are, to be quite honest, but there's also hundreds of cards in here, so I've not come across actually the same thing twice. If I shuffle the deck well. I've shuffled the deck bad before and I've gotten cards that I have, but if I shuffle the deck well, I don't really get the same cards. Here's a great one. You are an engineer. Thanks, Oblique Strategies. I am an engineer, technically. I have a degree in sound engineering. I haven't done it in a while. I feel like I've mentioned that before. I really just do my own stuff now. I would love to get back into it, and I would love to do it for a job, but at this point, it's like, it'd have to be not entry level, but it'd have to be a assistant. And that opportunity would have to rise, because it's not an easy thing to just get. But you are an engineer is actually great advice too, because it could be interpreted as you need to think of your own ideas, which is actually kind of like the last card. And then you can be encouraged to create your own stuff as well. In a way, like, you can kind of relate these to tarot cards, which is a weird thing to say, but it's also kind of true, where it's up to interpretation on how you read them. Yeah. Cut a vital connection. That's actually a really cool one. I've done this. I did this year. Sometimes you fall head over heels for someone, but you know that their life situation and your life situation are currently different, and maybe to lose that, you know. But at the same time, you fall head over heels for them. So, me being who I am, I cut them off completely for a while, and more for my own sanity, because I couldn't say how I felt. We've reconnected recently, and it's like things didn't change. I think she was a little oblivious to the fact, but I'm a little better now, and I know where I stand. But cutting a vital connection in music, I just told you right there, that was the inspiration for many songs I wrote over this year. Actually, another selfless promotion, but I put out an acoustic EP in September. Link down below. I have it on Bandcamp, but I'll link my YouTube. I put YouTube on it too. Put it on YouTube. And pretty much that entire album is better. But she'll never find this YouTube channel, so it's okay. And if she does, you probably don't know who you are. You might know who you are. Let's move on, because this is we're okay here. We'll be at time-wise. I'll go to 20. Alright. The most important thing is the thing most easily forgotten. The most important thing is the thing most easily forgotten. Like your keys or your wallet. That's actually a really powerful statement, and it's kind of harkens back on the other card. Now, you can use this obviously in songwriting, but I feel like this is more of a life card, or how I would interpret it, because sometimes we forget the most important things to us. In terms, for me, that would be music, and I was in a band, a pretty decently successful local band. We opened for a lot of really cool high or up-ish rock bands. We had a great following, and we went really, really hard for around 2.5 years, and then it just fizzled. And then basically since then, so I guess it would have been, our last show would have been last July, end of July, and pretty much this entire year since then, I've not really wanted to do music. Only recently, like that, I guess when I was recording this recent EP in August was when I was like, okay, I gotta get out of this funk and just do something. And it hurts, you know, it's weird. You get out of this relationship, and I'm still, my best friend was the guitarist, and we're still great friends. He was just over last night for Halloween, and we watched the Ghost Adventures live episode. That's a whole different story. But I haven't seen my bassist in a while. He's actually a very famous YouTuber. Not famous, but Willow Davis is his name. A lot of people have come here from his channel, because we still do contact each other YouTube-y. Haven't talked to my drummer at all. But that's fine. And in a way, it made sense that we ended. When you put 4 people that are completely different musically in terms of influences, you get really, really interesting, good music. But you put 4 people with different musical interests in the same room, it's hard to keep them together. We just faded out. We went too hard. So when it says the most important thing is the thing most easily forgotten, I forgot about music. I really didn't want to do it anymore. And now I'm like, I need to go perform again. I need to be on stage. It's insane how much I need to be on stage again. Like, I hate it. But starting a band in an area that's not that populated is not the easiest thing to do in the world. And I hate being a solo artist. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. But sometimes you have to do it out of survival. I never understood. It's interesting because ASMR, I think for a lot of people, at least for me, is self-therapeutic because you can kind of talk about yourself without really worrying about the consequences. It's a little bit, it's kind of like therapy, What to increase, what to reduce. I wouldn't, actually, I guess in terms of mixing, that's just a pretty general thing. Like, I would decrease the bass, decrease the guitars to be a little, do I reduce the hi-hat, in terms of mixing. I guess this is actually probably a really good card in terms of engineering to remember while you're mixing. Be like, okay, I gotta go see what I can increase and what I can reduce. But in life, do I increase my spending, reduce my spending? Do I increase the amount of ASMR I watch on YouTube? I probably should decrease it, reduce it, because I think literally today I watched, who was I watching? Crap, she does math. Quantum. Oh my god. Quantum ASMR. I think I just had her videos on autoplay while I was trying to design a logo for a band I'm actually working with in terms of graphic design. That's a different story again. Almost fell asleep. She's great. But that was really funny because I probably shouldn't have watched that many videos. Not only of hers, but just of ASMR in general in one sitting. Alright, one more. Discard an axiom. What does that mean? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I do not know the meaning of axiom. Let's end on a good one. We did pretty good. We went through not counting the Joker. And this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. It's not bad. Okay. One more. Remove specifics and convert to ambiguities. Now that's a decent card. It's kind of like that other one where it was, crap, let me find it. It's kind of like a mix between emphasize the flaws and the easily forgotten one. Remove specifics and convert to ambiguities. I guess you can use that in terms of lyrics, remove what you're actually talking about, what you think you're talking about. To say you're writing about a girl or a man or a significant other or someone you're in love with. What I like to call masking lyrics. You write as if it was about that person, but you don't use that person's as a subject. Or you don't even mention that it is a person. You replace that person with, say, an object or a subject. So, say you replace a significant other with a feeling or emotion, or hell, you can replace it with a glass of wine and convert it to an ambiguity right there. The ambiguous. So yeah, that was some Oblique strategies. The card set by Peter Schmidt and Brian Eno. I will 100% do. Ooh, bring that back in. I will 100% do more videos with these. I think they're really cool. If you're a writer, a songwriter, or an artist, I recommend getting these because they're very helpful. Or if you're just curious and you ever need just advice and you don't know where to turn, pick up a set. Maybe there'll be something that suits you. So, I guess today's advice, I guess we don't really need to do an advice one because we just kind of went through a bunch of advice. So, I hope you have a excellent day, evening. I actually like the lighting I have going on right now. I hope you like the lighting I have going on right now. It's subtle. It's subtle lighting, but it works with this computer. So